Welcome to today's video. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my top 7 most used products from the drugstore as of recent. I do have other top drugstore videos that I'll have linked below. This video is specifically on products that I've recently been grabbing over, let's say, the last at least 3 weeks up to the last couple of months. These are the most used products from the drugstore that are incorporated into my routine on the daily. So let's get started. So I have 2 foundations for you, and the first is the L'Oreal Fresh Wear Foundation. All of these products you've heard me talk about, and at some point, some of these products I've been talking about for years and I still am using all the time. And every single one of these products that I'm looking at has been in a video at some point. So if you are not new to my channel and you've watched videos, this is going to be a repeat, but you still might find it interesting to find out what I'm still currently using. The Fresh Wear Foundation I've been reaching for a lot this summer because it's a very lightweight foundation. It's long wearing. It looks natural on the skin. It gives me a pretty good natural to medium-ish coverage. It doesn't give full coverage. It doesn't look heavy on the skin. It's just a really great foundation for these hot, sweaty days that I don't want to feel like I have a lot of makeup on my skin, but I want my makeup to look nice and I also want it to last. This is what I took with me to Florida when we went to Disney World. I knew it was going to be hot and sweaty and very humid, and I took that one with me. I actually didn't end up using that most of the time. I think I wore that only on my travel days because I wore this. This is not drugstore though. This is a tinted sunscreen. I'll talk about that one later, but I still took it with me because I knew that it was very ideal for those conditions. The other drugstore foundation that I've been using a lot lately is the Candid foundation by Revlon. Really like this foundation. Similar benefits as well. It doesn't look heavy on the skin. It gives pretty natural to medium-ish coverage. It has a pretty natural satin-like finish. It's not really glowy or radiant, but it's definitely not on the matte side. I find this to wear well for me, and it wears all day. I'm the shade 260 in this, and in the L'Oreal, I am the shade 460, 260 and 460. But I just find these both to be really great, lightweight, natural, but nice coverage foundations that feel really nice on the skin. Now, I also have 2 concealers to share with you. The first is the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. This is a fan favorite. You guys have heard not only me talk about this, but many other YouTubers talk about it. I need a new tube. This one I'm pretty much almost completely out of. This is probably my 6th tube of this total. I love this product. I keep this in my makeup bag a lot of times, although this found its way outside of my makeup bag lately. But this is a great concealer for me to touch up with throughout the day because it is not heavy. It feels very lightweight. If I just want to brighten under the eyes midway throughout the day, or if I feel like my concealer is faded, this does a great job about touching up your makeup without looking heavy under the eyes. And then also the Candid Concealer by Revlon. I really like this one too a lot. It has a doe foot wand applicator, which I love these. This is my favorite type of applicator for applying concealer because it's just really easy. And I feel the same way about this concealer. I feel like this offers a little more coverage than the Age Rewind does slightly, but it doesn't look heavy. It doesn't look overly dry or overly matte under the eyes. It's just a really nice, nice concealer. The Milani Keep It Full lip glosses. If you watch a lot of my videos, this is no surprise. I love this formula of gloss, you guys. I will say this is my top favorite gloss, whether it's drugstore or high-end. This is my favorite gloss of all time. It's such a beautiful gloss. I have it in front of me in the shade Soft Rose, which I've been wearing a ton, Nude Shimmer, Luminoso, and then I have it in Prismatic Peach, and I have it in another one too. I think it's called Moon Glow maybe. It's like a white kind of pearlescent. And then I think I even have it another. I really love this formula a lot. I haven't put this down since I purchased it, which I don't know, I've been wearing it for a long time. I love it. It is so high shine, so glossy. It's got a nice big fat doe foot applicator that has a flat tip to it, so it's just really easy to apply on the lips. The formula is really glossy. It's definitely not like a sticky or thick gloss, but it's not real thin either. It's kind of in between the two, but it just makes the lips look like just glossy, wet looking. It has a slight bit of color to it. They're very sheer though, so they're great to put on top of lipsticks. The Soft Rose I find has a bit more color, and I will usually wear this alone by itself. This is like probably the most perfect kind of nudie rose color. I'll show you what that looks like. This does not have any shimmer to it, but it's such a beautiful color. Isn't that so pretty? So I've been wearing these a ton. Next is the Revolution Bacon Blot Powder, and I have this in the banana shade, and then I also have it in this shade right here, which is translucent, and I like them both. The banana gives a slightly yellow brightness. Both of them are great to set concealer or to highlight under the eyes. You can also set your foundation with this. I find these to smooth and minimize pores or texture in the skin. With any powder, I do have a very light hand. I don't like to apply more powder than needed, and you really don't need a lot with this, but this is going to give you the most subtle brightness under the eyes. It's going to set your concealer or foundation wherever you put it, and it just is also going to kind of help smooth and perfect and texture in the skin, specifically like pores is what I find. It's such a beautiful powder. All of these products are phenomenal, regardless of the price range or regardless of them. They're not just good for the drugstore. These are phenomenal products in my opinion. And this is one of my favorite setting powders for under the eye. I actually would compare the banana one to the Marc Jacobs Instamark palette, the yellow. You can see that I've hit pan on the yellow. I really like this product a lot too. I would say the banana is very comparable to it, and it is a fraction of the price. I forget what this was, but $40, $50 maybe. Okay, this blush is probably one of my most talked about products ever on my channel. It's Milani also, and it's the shade Luminoso. What can I say about this blush? I really don't know what else to say about it aside from the fact that I love it. I think it's a perfect color for year round, but especially in the summertime because it's peach. It has some luminosity to it. It's got some shimmer to it, but it's a really fine, like micro fine shimmer. So it's not going to look, it's going to be a very subtle highlight, which I know I say this all the time, but it's very true. When I use really shimmery products on the cheeks, it's like hello pores, you know, so I really try and avoid that. This is a soft enough highlight and shimmer that I can use it on the cheeks. Or you can also highlight the cheekbones if you want to wear it a little bit higher because it is a really soft color. I find that for my skin tone and darker, it works well above here too. It's such a beautiful color. And the last product, this was actually a toss-up between the Milani eyeshadow primer and the Revlon eyeshadow primer. I love them both, but I do reach for this one more often. Usually I wear the Revlon when I cannot find my Milani. I took this with me also to Florida. I just had to pull it out of my travel bag. I was like, where is that? And then I'm like, oh, it's probably still in my travel bag. This is such a great eyeshadow primer. I like that it's translucent. There's a slight tint to it, so it'll slightly brighten the eyelids if you have, you know, veins on the eyes, or sometimes our eyelids are a little bit darker than the rest of our skin tone. This has the slightest brightness to it. You can see it right there. So it'll kind of brighten that area up, but you can see that it pretty much goes on translucent, which I like that in an eyeshadow primer because I really don't want to change the color of the shadow that I'm wearing. Now, sometimes I'll use cream shadows that have color, but normally when I do that, you'll see me wear those as my lid color. I won't really layer color on top of it. When I'm layering shadows on top of when I'm putting a shadow on, I always put on eye primer, but when I'm laying a product on the lid like a cream or an eyeshadow primer and I'm going to put shadow on top of it, I always prefer a translucent primer, and this one is fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would love to know what some of your favorite products are from the drugstore. Most of these I either purchased because you guys requested that I review them, or you all told me that you loved them. So I have to credit you guys a lot for these products. So I would love to know what you guys are loving from the drugstore. What are you currently using the most? What's like a staple in your routine that you use that's from the drugstore? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!